Now we are studying about the dynamic resistance of the junction diode. It is also known by the name AC resistance. If we take a look at the forward bias characteristic curve of the PN junction diode, we see that it is not straight line, so it doesn't follow Ohm's law. So it is non-linear in shape. Because it is not a straight line, so if we find the slope of the line, the slope is going to change from point to the point. So in this case, if we find the slope of this curve for the forward bias VI characteristics of the PN junction diode, the slope value is going to be different at different points. So in this case, we define a resistance called dynamic or moving or variable resistance of the junction diode as a ratio of small change in the applied voltage delta V to small change in the current delta I, that is dynamic resistance RD equal to delta V over delta I. This value of the dynamic resistance, also called as the AC resistance of the diode, it depends upon the value of applied voltage and the current running through it. Above the cut-in voltage or the threshold voltage, diode characteristic is almost linear. So in this linear region, this diode resistance is almost independent of the applied voltage. But before the cut-in voltage, it weighs, it depends upon the applied voltage. Now we are discussing about an important semiconductor device which is known as a rectifier. So we are studying junction diode as a rectifier. We know that many of our electronic components, they require direct current for proper operation. For example, for the charging of our mobile tablets and the computers, laptops, and for the proper working of the electronic components in every electronic device or gadget, they require a direct current. So this direct current is obtained from a device which is known as a rectifier. So our junction diode, it acts as a rectifier which converts an alternating current into a direct current. So rectification is a process of converting alternating current into a direct current, and the device used for this purpose, we call it as a rectifier. What is the basic principle which help us to do so, which converts AC into a DC? We know that when forward bias, junction diode allows the electric current to flow through it due to the majority charge carriers. But when the same diode is reversed bias, it doesn't allow any electric current to flow through it due to the majority charge carriers. That means the current through the junction diode flows only when during the forward bias condition. So there is always a unidirectional flow of electric current through it only under the condition of the forward biasing. So this basic principle, this basic idea that diode allows the current to flow through it only during the forward bias condition can be used to change an alternating current into a direct current. We have various types of the rectifier circuits. We are going to study the basic of the two. One is called as the half wave rectifier. In the circuit diagram of the half wave rectifier, you can see that here we have the AC source from which an AC current is obtained, which is to be converted into a DC. So this AC source is connected to this step down transformer, to the primary of the step down transformer. This is the core of the transformer, and this is the secondary of the transformer. So this transformer, step down transformer, step down the voltage to a required suitable level, but it still remains alternating in nature. So one terminal of this secondary coil is now connected with the positive terminal of the diode, while the negative terminal of the diode is connected with the other part of the secondary through a resistance which is known as the load resistance. We call this as the load resistance, which is actually the resistance of the load or the device which is to be running from this direct current. When transformer steps down the voltage at its secondary, it still remains AC, alternating in nature. So it contains both cycles, positive half cycle and positive negative half. So both half cycles, positive as well as negative, are present over here. When positive half cycle appears across the secondary, the upper terminal of the secondary becomes at higher potential. It behaves as a positive terminal. The lower terminal of the secondary becomes at lower potential, so it behaves as a negative terminal. So in this case, when the positive half cycle appears across the secondary coil, upper terminal becomes at higher potential, lower terminal becomes at the lower potential. So in this case, you can see that the positive terminal of the secondary is connected with the positive terminal of the diode, while the negative terminal of the secondary is connected with the negative terminal of the diode through the load resistance. So in this case, if the secondary voltage is greater than the barrier voltage of the PN junction diode, proper forward biasing of the PN junction diode takes place, due to which an electric current I begins to flow through the PN junction diode due to the majority charge carriers due to the proper forward biasing. So when this current I flows through the load resistance RL, it produces a voltage across it which is equal to I into RL, and the value of this load voltage VL is approximately equal to the voltage present across the secondary. So in this case, when a positive half cycle appears across the secondary coil, corresponding to it across the load resistance RL, we also have a positive half cycle obtained across it. Now, when the negative half cycle appears across the secondary coil, the reversal of the polarity takes place, due to which the upper terminal, which was earlier acting as a higher potential terminal, now it will behave as a lower potential terminal. That means it will act as a negative terminal. While the lower terminal, which was earlier acting as a lower potential terminal, now it will behave as a higher potential terminal. So it will behave as a positive terminal. So in this case, when the negative half cycle will appear, what it will do, in this case, the negative terminal of the secondary is now connected with the positive terminal of the diode, while the positive terminal of the secondary is connected with the negative terminal of the diode due to the load resistance through the load resistance RL. In this case, reverse biasing of the diode takes place, due to which practically no current flows through the load resistance. So voltage present across the load resistance is equal to 0. So corresponding to this negative terminal of the diode, negative terminal of the voltage arriving at the secondary coil, output voltage is equal to 0. So no voltage is appearing across the load resistance RL. But when again next positive half cycle appears, again it leads to the forward biasing of the diode. Current flows through the load resistance and finite voltage is produced across the load resistance. So for a positive half cycle is obtained across the diode across the load resistance RL as the output. So in this way, every time a positive half cycle appears across the diode, at the output across the load resistance RL, we also have a positive half cycle. But every time a negative half cycle appears across the diode, it reverse biases the diode. So diode shuts it down, due to which voltage across the load resistance is 0. So every time negative half cycle is there, voltage across the load resistance across the output is 0. So in this way, Whereas secondary was applying both positive as well as negative half cycles across the diode, across the load resistance, we are only getting the positive half cycles. So because now at the load resistance we are only getting the positive half cycles, not the negative half cycles. So the current which was earlier alternating in nature, which was continuously reversing its polarity across the load resistance RL, we are now only having a single polarity, that is the positive half cycle. So in this way, a half wave rectifier converts an alternating current into the direct current. We call this as the half wave rectifier because it allows only one half of the complete AC cycle to pass through it, while it blocks the other half, that is the negative half cycle of the AC cycle. In this case, the output voltage that is obtained here, it is a pulsating DC voltage. It is not a constant value, but it is a DC voltage like this. So if we want to obtain a smooth DC voltage with lesser disturbances, we should be able to rectify not only the positive half cycle but also the negative half cycles. So in order to do that, we have a full wave rectifier in which two diodes are used. So here we have the AC input, alternating current input, which is to be converted into direct current. It is applied to the primary of a transformer. This is the core, and this is the secondary of the transformer. Now in this case, we are also using the central tap of the secondary of the transformer. A and B, they are the extreme ends of the secondary coil, whereas the point C is the known as the central tap. This means that if we suppose that a secondary has total 100 number of turns, a secondary has 100 number of turns, then the wire which is used as a secondary coil of this particular transformer, A corresponds to the one end of that wire, B corresponds to the last end of that wire. That means A is connected to the first turn of the wire secondary coil, B is connected to the 100th turn of the coil, while C point is connected to the central turn of the coil, that is the 50th turn of the secondary coil. So we call it as this connection as the central tap. Now connection is very simple. Two diodes D1 and D2 are used. Diode D1, its positive terminal is connected with the first turn, that is to the point A, upper terminal of the secondary coil. Positive terminal of the diode D2 is connected with the other end of the secondary coil, that is to the point B, while their negative terminals are joined together. Now a load resistance RL is now connected between this common negative terminals of the diode D1 and D2, while its other terminal is now connected with the central tap of the secondary of the transformer. So this is the circuit diagram for the full wave rectifier. Now how does this circuit work and convert AC into a DC? When we switch on the circuit, the transformer steps down the voltage, so a step down voltage appears across the secondary. Now when a step down voltage appears across the secondary of the transformer, higher potential appears at the point A, whereas the lower potential appears at the point B. That means point A behave as a higher terminal, higher potential point, that is it act as a positive terminal, B act as a negative terminal. In this case you can see positive terminal of the diode is connected with the positive terminal of the secondary, whereas the positive terminal of the diode D2 is connected with the negative terminal of the secondary at the point B. Because point A is now acting as a higher potential point, this means that any other point on the secondary coil, it will behave as a lower potential point. So C will also act as a lower potential point. So in this case, for the diode D1, positive terminal is connected with the positive at the point A. Negative terminal of the diode D1 through the load resistance RL is connected with the point C. This makes diode D1 to get forward bias. But for diode D2, its positive terminal is connected with the negative terminal at the point B, whereas its negative terminal is connected through the load resistance RL with the point C. Reverse biasing of the diode D2 takes place. So in this case, when positive half cycle of the input AC cycle appears, it makes diode D1 to get forward bias, while D2 gets reversed bias, due to which a forward current flows through only diode D1, and this diode current, forward diode current through the diode D1 flows in this direction, that is in the clockwise direction. That means for the load resistance RL, the point X appears as the positive terminal at higher potential, while the point Y act as a negative terminal at the lower potential. So it generates a voltage across the load resistance which is equal to I into RL. So for positive half cycle, a positive half cycle is appearing across the output, that is across the load resistance RL. Now when the negative half cycle appears across the secondary of the coil of the transformer, negative voltage appears at the point A, positive voltage appears at the point B. Now situation is exactly opposite when it was positive half cycle appearing across the secondary. Now this positive voltage appearing at point B is now connected with the positive terminal of diode D2, while negative voltage appearing at the point A is connected with the positive terminal of diode D1, and C again behave as a negative terminal. So in this case, for the diode D2, positive terminal is connected with the positive, while the negative terminal through the load resistance is connected with the negative terminal. So forward biasing of the diode in this case D2 takes place, but diode D1, its positive is connected with the negative terminal at the point A, and its negative is connected through the load resistance with again with the negative. So reverse biasing of the diode D1 takes place. So no current flows through the diode D1, but a forward current now flows through the diode D2, and in this case also through the load resistance RL, the diode current flows from X to Y. That is, X act as a higher potential point, Y act as a lower potential point. So in this case again, the voltage appearing across the load resistance RL is equal to I into the RL. So for the negative half cycle, again we obtain a positive half cycle across the load resistance. Reason, whether diode D1 is forward bias or diode D2 is forward bias, current flowing through the load resistance RL always flows from point X to the point Y. So in this case, because through RL current is always flowing from X to Y, so this current flowing through RL is not changing its direction whether D1 is forward bias or D2 is forward bias. So at the output across the load resistance RL, we have only the positive half cycles appearing. So in this case, by using two diodes connected with the this central tap type of transformer, both the half cycles positive as well as negative of a alternating current can be rectified in order to obtain a unidirectional flow of the current, that is AC can be changed into DC. And in this case, the output voltage appearing across RL, it will be like this, and it will be having lesser fluctuations present in it due to rectification of both the positive as well as negative half cycles. Thank you.